full experience over here, man. And that's no joke. You know, it's like almost, I try to pride myself in the restaurant style home enjoyment. If you come over for dinner, I might put on an apron.
Time out. So to me, my brain's going, I'm thinking you should open up a restaurant and call it Come Over for Dinner.
Your house.
Come over for dinner.
My house.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go eat at my house.
Over to my house.
No, that's my house. That works. Yeah.
Dude,
My house. My house diner.
That works.
I like that.
You know?
I like that. I'm happy to announce this week we have a sponsor. Are you guys ready for this?
Yep.
Our sponsor is officially Spa Dave's. That's right. So if you go to the link below and type in our discount code Tuesday, you can get 15% off of a spa day.
So you're telling
Spa
me
Dave's.
For $34.99, I get a full spa day with Spa Dave?
Full spa day with Spa Dave's, right? So remember, abracadabra, alakazam, spend a day with Dave, and you'll feel like a new man. So please, check the link below. Click on that. Get your 15% off. It's only 110 miles from anywhere. Spa Dave's. Go get you one.
Nobody lives near Spa Dave.
Nobody. Driving there.
In your backyard and at your in-laws. You feel me? Hey.
It's in the backyard.
Just find the Dave. Just find the Dave.
Look for,
Find him.
Yeah. I got to say.
Oil yourself up.
I got to say.
That's going to be our pyramid scheme.
Spa Dave's is a place I would go because I just feel like I'd be welcome. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a place where I would be understood, masseused, and made to feel special. So, if you haven't gotten yourself a Valentine's Day gift or your significant other, Spa Dave's is the place to go. And remember, ask for the Spa Dave's special.
That's right.
It feels good to have.
It's almost Valentine. It's Valentine's week. Yeah,
it is Valentine's week.
Mm-hmm. Well, when this comes out, it will be
it'll have been
after Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Correct.
Will it? Hold
Correct.
on. Valentine's Day is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
That's Tuesday.
Oh.
Ooh. Have you guys seen that Chick-fil-A's putting out a new new sandwich?
No,
really?
What is it?
No.
Yeah, they're doing a vegan one. It's a cauliflower. It's like a cauliflower patty or something like that.
Oh, that's actually not too bad because Buffalo Wild Wings has cauliflower wings, and they're actually really good.
They are pretty good, and so they are. It's kind of meaty. So I'm sure.
So cauliflower is taking the place of chicken, like soy took the place of burgers.
Only for the boneless wings.
Only for the vegan. No, it'll be for a sandwich. So Chick-fil-A's will be a sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, I was just saying. Or they're putting a new slogan out, Nick. It says, "Eat more broccoli."
There you go. Eat more cauliflower, and now it's a cauliflower instead of a chicken.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Eat more
I'm
broccoli.
with you. Eat more broccoli. I like that.
No,
I like that.
That's a true story, though. They really are putting that out. I'm curious. I don't know if I'll try it, but it seems kind of interesting.
It sounds like a good opportunity for some content, Pat.
That's what I was.
I know what you're going to say.
I was just thinking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I'm with that. I'm with that.
Vegetarians got that cauliflower power, and you know what that means.
You know it. That means it's coming out.
Fantastic thoughts.
I feel like all these. God, what do they call them? What do you call the burgers? What do you call the burgers?
Beyond Meat. The Beyond Burgers.
Beyond. All the Beyond. I'm just going to, for lack of a better term, Beyond Meats are like UFOs when it comes to back in in the 90s, early 2000s.
It's definitely.
What are you talking about?
It's beyond me. I just can't figure it out.
I got you on that one, Sean. That was clever clearance.
I'm a speaker of words. A wordsmith.
Wordsmith.
Yeah,
Wizard of words, the Sultan of verbs is what I call it.
Oof, that's true. That's true.
Easy. But I'm gonna tell you, man. Valentine's Day is around the corner. But I got to tell you, kind of going back to the rest of the story, Pat. I will say this, and Joel, I said this, right?
Say it.
If you want loyalty from a woman,
yes,
you got to get yourself a wrestling woman. Because a woman who loves wrestling loves like no other. Because when I tell you, I have never seen so much support in my entire life than at a wrestling match. Because these women were all in, and they were all shapes and sizes, bro. Fine ones,
let's add
fine ones, mid. Yeah. Go ahead, keep going.
Love like no other, look like no other. That's for sure. I mean, it is a broad spectrum of...
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Love like no other. And also, look. That's for sure.
You know, there's an old saying out there, and that old saying says there's somebody for everybody. And at a wrestling show, there's no true words have been spoken because there is somebody for everybody at a wrestling show. But hey, you got to give it up to these ladies, man. So ladies, listen, you need to love your man like you support him at a wrestling show. Okay?
That's true.
Because that's making true. That's time. That is an investment, right?
Let me ask you this question.
The women want to be there. They want to be there. It's not like they're being dragged there. They generally want to be there because they feel
How could you not?
Yes.
I mean, but how could you not? Okay, that's like telling me, like if my wife was really into like swimsuit fighting, right. That would be easy for me to get into.
Agreed.
So I think it's the same thing because, I mean, you got a bunch of ripped dudes. I mean, if I was a lady, I'm not saying like that's any case of it, but it wouldn't be hard to watch. Does that make sense?
That's 100%.
I mean, these dudes are like you're talking about. You could call it what you want to, but most of them are in top shape, top physical shape. And
eye candy.
That's what I mean. So you don't have to really
in like Speedos wrestling,
right? That's what I'm saying. You know?
Yeah.
Thank God they don't wear boxers because that would be ugly.
I think the equivalent to a loyal woman would be a guy who supports their wives with these freaking Beyonce tickets. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
you're insane.
Beyonce.
I am not for $4,000. I will not take a stand. Listen, if my wife says to me today, Nick, it's me or Beyonce, I would be divorced. I don't think I have that much loyalty in me because Beyonce's out here ruining marriages. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Yes, 100%.
Yo,
beautiful way to put it.
Hey, these women take Beyonce seriously, and for you men out there, hey,
foolish.
Hats off if you wanna put out $4,000. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's my little spiel for the week.
No, I'm not going to that.
That's my spiel for the week. But yeah, no,
I'm not going to that.
What is something
$4,000?
Oh, well, I guess like a Super Bowl. Like if I was about to say, what is something that a male would want to do that would cost $5,000?
Exactly.
Like Super Bowl would, yeah.
I think that's
a Super Bowl would be that.
Yeah, I think like any high end championship, I think would be because I'm gonna tell you, I would spend good money to go to like a pay-per-view wrestling. You know what I mean? To be up front. I mean, if I had it, I'd definitely pay it. It wouldn't be an upwards of $5,000, but I mean, all you need, you can ask Joel. I don't know if Joel experienced this, but all you need to go to like a WrestleMania and sit at the floor is a Corky Franks. Sure, there's a Corky Franks who will hustle people. Like when me and Jeff, I don't think Joel, this isn't the one you went to. When me and Jeff were in New Orleans, Corky gave us his tickets because like 30 minutes before the show was going to start, this guy was freaking out because he hadn't sold his floor tickets and sold them to Corky for like $500. Oh, deal.
Like 2 floor seats for $500 that were marked at like, I want to say $750 or $800.
Yeah.
Yes. And Corky's like, who wants to go down and sit with me? And me and Jeff were like, I think we're just going to sit where we're going to sit. And he just went down there by himself.
You're a better man than me.
That's so true.
But his tickets were...
I probably would have left.
Which one did you go to, Joel?
Dallas.
Dallas, that's right.
Yeah, it was
that was
cool.
a good time
out there. Yeah, I had a really good time. Remember, I know Nick's views. Let me ask you this question. Are we on the brink of World War III? What's up? Like, where are we headed for that? Like, it's kind of crazy.
I feel like as someone with lack of knowledge on this topic, because I don't watch much news, I feel like that every issue that anybody has, there's the rest of the world is kind of like, we're going to wash our hands of it and not mess with it because we know it could grow bigger. So I think that's what's halting. That's what's halting a World War III. But
I feel like right now.
Well, I was going to say too. Are we talking about the Ukraine stuff?
No, we're talking about.
Is it Ukraine?
They're saying Russian subs off the coast of certain parts of the United States.
Because of hold on. Where did Russia? This sounds so. I apologize for sounding so stupid and ignorant to the world's problems. No, is it Ukraine that the Russia?
Yeah, but the issue is not with Ukraine. It's the fact that the West has been supplying Ukraine with stuff to help defeat them.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, you might as well be in the war. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that's like giving somebody answers to a test and just saying, well, I didn't write them, so I'm not responsible for that. It's not me.
Right.
I feel like if there is a World War III, it's going to be Russia versus the world, kind of.
That's going to be Russia and China.
You think China's going to jump on board?
See, here's the crazy thing, Pat. That's what's going on. You have the Chinese and the Russians teaming up right here. That's too much for us to handle. It just came out that Great Britain no longer is a tier 1 armed force. So you're talking about a tier 2, and they said it could take at least 10 years for them to get back up to that. So one of our main allies is trash. I mean, we're throwing rocks at a bunch of like swords.
Is there any ally that's worth anything to the United States
sure
that has the power that the United States has?
I mean,
Israel,
and maybe some of France, but I mean,
Germany, France.
Here's my thought though. I believe that America has some stuff out there that the other countries know nothing about.
100%.
And so that's really probably more scary than anything, because I feel like Russia's showing their hand. However, the United States has yet to show it. Joel and I are both veterans.
Ass hand.
Joel and I are both veterans, and so not saying that we can, privy any info. But we don't even know half of what the United States have after 10 years of the military.
My question, my thoughts on that are the same. To think that in a world where power is, or control is decided by military power, really, you can't just be out there going, "This is what we got," because then people can figure out how to beat you. They'll plot against you.
That's true.
It's just like a football game. You don't hand your playbook out and just say, "Beat me." They know you throw passes. Okay, they know you run the ball. They know you got to attack. I mean, like the basics.
They kind of know what defense you run. They don't know. It's because I assume like a war is about adaptation and like
we haven't had
how
a fight
you
like
adapt to.
This isn't going to be a typical. We're not talking about U.S. soldiers and Russian soldiers fighting like that. Russia's not going to do that.
It's powerful.
They're going to lose. They can't beat the United Nations. There's too much, right? Mm-hmm. It's too big. But what they will do is, I mean, I don't know if they will, but it's the threats of, well, we're going to go out, we're going to just launch all these nukes at you and just destroy everybody with it. It sucks, but it's scary.
In the midst, they'll still be doing TikTok videos.
I hope so, man. I mean, I better be able to roll, grab rash on and some ICBMs on my back. I know.
Not making light of it, but I mean, it's when you think about World War, I think a lot of people still go to like 1940s war torn. That's not the generation we're in. I mean, it's still a scary thought, but let's be honest, bombs will drop and people still find a reason to do TikToks. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I mean, but
bombs are dropping. Let me get out of here and run this TikTok. No, it's a scary thought, and so I feel like you got to be informed. You have to be informed. Yeah. Like you have to know what's going on. Because I mean, Joel will hit me some stuff, and I'll be like, "Dang, are you serious?" And I'll have to run and find out about it too. Oh, while we're talking about it, prayers go out to Syria. Huge earthquake. I think it was like a 7.8 off the Richter scale. They're still recovering people. So in the midst of talking about
12,000 people, bro, thousands of people dead.
Yeah. So in the midst of talking about it, our hearts and prayers definitely go out to Syria, because that's just the type of people we are, and this is just the type of platform that we run. So hearts and prayers out to Syria. Hopefully everybody recovers well, and because they're still finding people, but thankfully, there's been more positive than negative coming out of that. So. Syria, this heart's for you. You can't see it, but I'm doing the Korean heart.
The crazy thing about that is that, they don't like us, the United States and stuff, and which is, I'm not saying nothing against that, but here's the other thing. We'll be the ones to provide most of the aid. We'll be
for sure.
That are there. And it just doesn't change any minds like that. It doesn't affect anything.
Yeah.
That's because the United States are very evil peoples.
We are.
It's about what can you do for me today?
They are very wicked.
In the past.
They are very
That's
wicked.
true. That's true.
Speaking of wicked, did anybody see the Grammys?
Oh,
whoa!
I'm not. Oh, Jesus! Earthquake. Just kidding.
By choice.
Bad joke. I just hit my knee on there.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was terrible.
That was terrible.
There's a little rumble in my tongue.
It was a little rough.
Yeah, I saw the Grammy. I didn't watch the Grammys, but I saw the clips from it, and it just.
I saw clips.
Wow.
I don't understand the correlation between creativity and Satan.
Me either. It's like that's like the go-to.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I'm a creative person, I like to think.
Sure.
And I don't usually draw on the Dark Lord to give me some inspiration.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it. I can't put it together. It's
Illuminati.
It's not new. It's not different. It's not creative because done all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Every rapper wants to freaking have a wants to be crucified. Every freaking it's so overdone. Nas, Tupac. How many? There's so many rappers that have been put on a dang crucifixion. It's
well, I'm about to say, but I just feel like they tried to outdo Lil Nas X, like with this one. Like it started with Lil Nas X. It didn't start, but he kind of brought it back to fruition. So it's like, let's top him. You know what I mean? So, I don't know if I'll be tuning in to the Grammys. Him. You'll never. Ditto. That's one in the chat because you're a filthy-minded freak.
Never.
So that's one in the chat. I'm giving you an extra one in there. Bam. That's for you.
I was just saying, not me, not this guy. No, not today, not me. Bro, these are angel wings I rap. These are angel wings.
You got to have your angel wings. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I will say this, though. The cheesy, crappy version, okay? They took, you can't bash a song and just because it is like, the devilish or whatever and just come back with a Christian version of it because it looks stupid.
Oh, that's the worst. That's even worse.
It is so dumb. And this girl's trying to be all hard. She's like, yeah. And then she hits you with the lucky girl. Yeah. And then starts talking about Jesus and endless love. And I get it, but it doesn't work. It's cringe. It's so cringe. It is. That's the word. It is 100% cringe.
Yeah.
But
I will say there is a TikTok out there that says like if you did certain rap songs with certain lyrics when it's like, hold up, I ain't with that. Devil try to get his legs back.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Now that's funny. That was a funny version, but that's satire.
That's creative. But she really put it out, bro. And there are people that listen to it as an alternative.
Hold on, what is it?
I'll send it to you
instead of the unholy, it's called holy, and it's the same beat. And it's like someone's getting holy instead of unholy, which is just ridiculous. You've heard the Sam Smith song, right?
Yeah.
So, it's a little bit much for me.
You did shock me this week with a discovery. So I don't know, Pat, if you heard that Pretty Girl song. Pretty girls walk like this. It's a Christian song. I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Joel told me it's a Christian song, and I listened. I was like, it for sure is, but it's getting mad play on TikTok. So good on them. It's good. Way to flip it.
What are? I'm going back to. It's not really goth, but Switch
golf. Did you say something about golf?
There he is.
Wait, you say something about golf, Pat?
18 holes.
What, you talking about golf? Where are you going? When are you going golfing?
Shut up. You never invite.
What'd you say?
Never invites us.
What did you say?
I said goth.
Oh, goth. I thought you said golf.
No.
Oh.
Same thing you were talking about earlier. Goth.
Yes. What it was like Switchfoot was a Christian band.
Yeah. Switchfoot.
Dare You to Move. I think that song Dare You to Move. And then there was another one. What was the Dare You to Move? Yeah. What was the other song that
they did a
like
bunch. They did the whole Walk to Remember soundtrack.
Truth.
Switchfoot did?
They did. Ooh. They did it with her. Yeah, most of the songs on that whole movie were by Switchfoot.
Yeah.
I remember that they had a big song, and I saw them at the Kiss concert in like 1999.
I think I did too. Were me and you together?
I saw Fastball. Yeah, I think we were. To be honest with you, it was like
that's the one where he ran. He ran into it was at the amphitheater, right?
Yeah, right there. It was outside.
And he ran up the thing and went out into the middle of the field and was singing the last part of it.
I think so. And then Smash Mouth was there.
Yeah, Smash Mouth was there. Weezer, maybe?
Smash Mouth so bad. I hate Smash. I'm not a Smash Mouth guy. Like, ooh.
Nah.
No.
Well, you guys got to remember, Creed came out as a Christian group.
Yes.
Yep. I saw an interview with Scott Stapp. So I was watching.
Theo
I saw the interview
with
where he addressed the whole idea. He's like, 1 second, we were the hottest band in the country. Yeah. And then someone happened to mention that we might be Christian. And then everybody turned on him.
Dude,
that's insane.
There's Hollywood for you. That right there explains the whole Satan thing from the agreement.
That's true.
But it was such a good album. I love the Lullaby song.
Dude, it's great music.
Hey, you know what I'm doing? I'm singing a little golf.
That's what you got to sing some golf. I love golf music.
Did you say goth?
We have to make a T-shirt that says goth with a goth look.
I'm going gothing.
Hey, it's time to TR. I'm playing Norholes of goth.
Morgan Martian. Speaking of terrible music things, have you seen those ugly red Astro boots?
$350 of fun. Those are terrible.
Pat, you've seen them. Have you seen them?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Send
what
them.
The hell
Send them.
Are you like, what do you do? Like, you don't
nothing.
you don't,
a rock.
What do you look at on your phone? Just like pictures?
Is that
you on Facebook? No, just look at yesterday.
They're fake though, aren't they?
No, they're real.
No, they're real. Lil Wayne has them. They're $379.
They're called Big Red Boots.
There's a big country.
Like,
something.
Balenciagas.
No,
they look like cartoon feet.
Yeah, the Astro Boys.
Oh, you talking about that country, Bulimia? I love that country.
It's a good
Who
one.
made
That's
Mischief, a New York-based collective with a rich history of trolling consumer culture.
So why would somebody buy them? You're
sometimes doing so by selling consumer goods.
Hey, man.
So the people that made them are a New York-based collective with history of trolling consumer culture.
Yeah.
So basically, you're making fun of yourself by paying $350 for a pair of boots.
That is so dumb.
What are we doing here?
I wouldn't wear them, but Lil Wayne bought them, and it's like, gosh, dude. All right, so I got a serious topic to talk about today, and this is going to be a focus for us, and then I think we can get to a point where, hey, we can run this jaunt.
Roll it.
So, it's love season. It's February. Mm-hmm. It is. Mm-hmm. It's that time of year. Okay, love languages.
Oh,
what do you guys know about? Like, what do you guys know? What do you think about them? What do you know about them? Do you think it's real? And do you need me to list them for you? So I'll do it anyways. I'll list the number. There's 5 love languages. Okay. Mm-hmm. And this is what comes from that book. Is it The Secret or is it something else? Something else, right? Something else.
We need to bring Katie in here for her expertise. So she's all about this.
That's fine. Well, I'm just going to go over them real fast. So love languages,
go ahead.
Right?
I'm not getting her. So she won't do it.
You got words of affirmation, which is somebody compliments you. You like being complimented. You like being told that when you wash dishes, thank you, you did a good job. Okay. Mm-hmm. Which is something that I find myself, I like. It's a love language that I have. I like to know, because if you're going to tell me all the bad stuff that I need to work on or this and that, I need to know the good stuff that I do. It works well for me.
Absolutely.
Acts of service. So doing things for people, like doing something for your wife, doing, things like that. That is a way, a love language. Gifts. Mm-hmm. So I also feel like a spoiled brat. I need words of affirmation and gifts, please. No. But gifts, that's another one. So like, do you like to be given things? Are those ways that you feel love? So these are ways that you feel love. That's what I'm saying. So these things are
gotcha.
Like quality time. The spending time with your partner show you when they spend time with you, that shows you that they love you. And then the last one is physical touch. Kissing, touching, rubbing, touch my back. Like my wife likes her back to be rubbed all the time. Mm-hmm. All the time. And I remember 30 seconds into it, I got carpal tunnel, baby. I can't be doing this. Whoa, you trying to get my hands stuck? I got a whole day to do tomorrow. What are you doing?
I'm going to need ice. I'm going to need ice after that, girl.
And I only do that because she is not good at giving physical touch back. And she is great in some ways, but in the instance of, hey, babe, can you rub my arm for me? I'm hurting my shoulder for me. Oh, yeah. 40 seconds.
Yep.
Move on.
Okay.
40 seconds.
I would say, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and then if she's rubbing my back, she just looks for zits to pick or pop. I'm like, I'm sitting here thinking this is comfortable. I'm like, stay out. Look, I'm telling her, I'm like, dude, I'm trying to relax, and all I'm doing is getting needles, like just shocked every 10 seconds. I mean, not 10 seconds. I don't have a back full of zits, but every whatever minute, maybe you probably get through my whole back in a minute. So whatever. Every 25 seconds, a quarter of this.
That's fair. I hate that.
But it's so off-putting. So but when I mess around and I'm doing it, just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Just don't. You know, do it. But anyway, so love languages, Nick. What are yours? What do you need to like? What are your love languages there?
I would say for me, physical touch is something I'm very big on. Mm-hmm. Encouragement is something I really like. I'm not really huge on gifts because like if I want it, I'll buy it myself. But I am huge on how you receive how you receive
words
my
of affirmation.
Yeah, words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation.
Physical touch.
Physical touch. So which one would you say is more important? Because I think they're listed in order. Like this is my like this one.
If I had to, I would say physical touch. I think like a good touch means more than words in some cases because it's action. You know what I mean?
So does that mean if we're sitting on the couch, me sitting right next to you, not me, but your significant other sitting right next to you, touching your leg, Are you talking about physical touch?
Yeah.
Are you talking about, because physical touch, I mean, I like to just be like, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes
I would just say for me, it's sometimes a pat on the back or a touch or a quick hug or something like that. Or if you're walking by, just give me a quick, just let you know, you love me. I'm not saying you got to. Yeah, I'm not saying that you got to be all over me, but for instance, like when I walk through the door, a nice hug and a kiss and a hello probably means more than anything else you could say to me for the rest of the day. And when I don't get those, I feel some type of way. I'm just kind of like, well, what's going on? What's the deal?
I get irritated. I get mad at my kids for that too. Like they don't act like immediately they want something when I come home, but not, hey, how was your day?
Yeah. So
that's frustrating, man.
Yeah, I would say that. And then, like I said, when I talk about words of affirmation, just like, this week I was down. It would, I just, I don't want you asking me every 5 minutes, am I okay? But I really just want to have some type of dialogue to really tap into what's going on with me. So, for those that don't know, I'm still dealing with grief. I lost, a set of grandparents and a set of parents during COVID. And so when it hits, I just kind of want some recognition. I'm not looking for a pity party, but I just, just to, hey, Nick, I'm here with you. I love you. I just want you to know, it means a lot. And when I don't get that, it kind of makes you feel like you're alone when you're dealing with it, too. You know what I mean?
Understand.
Not that the homies wouldn't have me. I know y'all would, but it's just different when it comes from your significant other. And don't get me wrong, I love my wife, and I know my wife loves me, but I think sometimes it's hard for her to recognize that. And so
I think sometimes it's hard for, even as a couple, I think sometimes it's still hard to, because if we have, and 9 times out of 10, but a lot of times we'll have different forms of love languages, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that if your love language is different than mine, I think sometimes it's hard for the other person to be able to give you the love language that you need.
Sure.
Because it's not something that they're kind of like, that makes sense to them in feeling love, right? Because sometimes I can be cold in a way that's not on purpose, but I'll be like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why you're upset.
Oh,
like, I don't understand. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And so that's a hard thing to kind of do sometimes, is giving forms of giving forms of love that maybe you're not used to. I think is hard sometimes.
Agreed.
Definitely agreed.
And what I was saying about gift giving, like I said, for me, I don't have to really receive gifts, but I do feel a certain type of way if I give you a gift and you don't receive it well. You know what I mean? Like,
so I think that goes with words of affirmation.
I went out of my way to get you this thing. It would just been nice to be like, oh, this is nice, or but it's kind of like when I get it for you and I'm excited, and you're just like, oh, thank you. I'm just like, ugh.
So it's like affirmation. So that,
I guess so. So I guess I guess so. I guess so.
All right. So what about you, Pat? What are your top 2 lung languages?
I think
lung language.
I said lung language. And he's like,
first of all, I just want to say,
let me clear it out real quick. Go ahead. What are your 2 like you think are your main 2?
I mean, my primary one definitely has to be like physical touching, like a touch type thing, because I have to be shown affection, or I feel like I have this weird. It's not like 100%, but I have this weird thought process that I've always had, that I don't have any friends that are like best friends that are girls that I talk to, but in my mind, the thing that if I did have a girl that was one of my friends that I talked to, not necessarily on a regular basis, but was just a friend of mine, what differentiates her from my partner is the affection that is shown between me and my partner, and the comfort level that we have in talking. And I feel like that if that affection, if that touching and that kissing and hugging and like just wrapping arms, holding hands, or like you said, put your hand on their thigh whenever you're driving, stuff like that. When that starts slipping, you start falling into that other realm. You know what I mean?
What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, so physical touch is one for you, and that's probably a hard balance. Trying to say, okay, my love, because you still have love with your friends, right? Not like I'm in love, but it's still like the same kind of like way of making the other person happy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think,
but the way that you make your partner understand how much you. I mean, there's many ways that you do it in a relationship, but one of the ways is that you show affection and show, like, for instance, in my mind, the way my mind works, if I walk with Katie into a room, I will easily hold her hand, put my arm around her, give her a kiss, so everybody in that room knows that she is my partner. You know,
yeah,
something to that effect. And
hello,
I do,
everybody.
like, it's
Hold on,
I'm Patrick, and this is my lady.
Have you met Katie? Meet her,
woman.
Come and meet her now. Dang, Pat, easy.
It is, I'm aggressive about it. Nah.
So you have physical touch is one thing.
Physical touch definitely is my primary. Definitely, there's no question about it. I might have to go like with Nick in words of affirmation. Yeah, as my secondary, just because I have to, like, I can't be left out. My mind works so weird and goes to so many different places that I can't just assume. And I'm also a big person that, like, I think assumption brings on a lot of issues. Right. If you assume, if there's no confirmation on, like, I mean, almost exactly like Nick said, if there's no confirmation that you're making them feel happy, you're making them feel like loved, you're doing what you can for the family. I don't need somebody to come out and be like, you're doing a good job today. I just need to be like, I appreciate you. Like, I appreciate what you do. I appreciate the sacrifices that you make, and that goes both ways. I don't just need to receive that. I feel like that's an effective way for me to communicate to Katie or my partner,
right?
And that I appreciate them and that I love them. I say I love you to a lot of people, like everybody that I feel like deserves it in my life. I'm not one of those people that shy away from that.
You haven't told me in a long time, so I guess I've done something.
Well, I love you, Joel.
Whatever.
I told Nick yesterday.
He did. He did. You know, there was a thing on Instagram, and it's crazy we're talking about this because what he said was, there's nothing wrong with relationships. What's wrong is the people within the relationship. And when you have a relationship where two people constantly serve, right? Imagine just be, hey, what do you need? No, what do you need? No, what do you need? What do you need? Unfortunately, it starts that way, but then it turns into, well, we're this way because of you. No, we're this way because of you, because of something you didn't do.
Yeah.
So those affirmations can fall by the wayside quickly when it becomes you versus me instead of let us figure this out. And that's something that every relationship falls into. It's just hard. How do you weather that storm?
Kids add a whole other layer.
And keep up with what we're talking, and keep up with the love language, right? And then, like you said, Pat, having kids really causes confusion within the love language, right? Because now I'm a parent, you're a parent, we're parenting together, but then it's just another layer of who's the better parent when it should be we parent together.
Well, I struggle with having enough to give. Like, I struggle with, like, man, dude, like, there's only so much time in a day, right?
Sure.
There's only so many activities that you can do, and you want to be fair, and you want to split them up, and you want to say, all right, I'm going to do this much with you, and this much with you, and this much with you, but it's almost impossible. So then you try and do something together, and that's impossible because everybody's different.
Especially with kids.
And so it's like, gosh. So it's hard to feed everybody's hunger, or not hunger, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's also when you feel that need, like you're talking about giving, you eventually drive yourself into a corner where you haven't given yourself anything. Like you haven't done anything for yourself for so long. And then you get into, that goes into the conversation we were having a few podcast episodes ago about then you're so frustrated and so angry and so just frustrated with life because you feel like that you give everybody everything you can and nobody gives you anything. In turn, you're just not giving yourself anything.
Yeah, and it can be not fair. It's not fair for people. For you to hold people accountable because you decide to do stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, well, you should do it for me too, or you should treat me this way. And it's hard because I am not that person who is strong enough to not do that. I struggle with that.
Yeah.
I struggle with dumb stuff. Like,
that's where, you're speaking my language because that's where I struggle.
And then there are things that I'm not good at. And that struggle can be real.
That's part of being a man.
Even when I'm trying to work, sometimes my own being a man plays an issue with that because I feel like, okay, I'm doing this. And then I feel if it's not reciprocated in a way that I feel like, well, why am I doing that? Why am I lowering myself, whatever, if it's not returned? But it's not necessarily the case because sometimes it might take being the example or being the person that full throttle changes the way things are done or discussed for the other person to see it. And I got to be stronger than I am.
100%.
A perfect example is like you guys know, I work all the time. And because I have a career that I have to work all the time and I have to travel. But I catch myself if Katie has to work over like an hour to keep up with something that went on that day. I'm like, hey, when are you going to get off work? Like, we got to eat.
Sure.
And it's just like, and then I'll catch I try to work on it, but being very self-reflective, since this has turned into a therapy session. Yeah. Whenever it happens, it doesn't even trigger in my head until after the fact that I've said some BS that I shouldn't have said. And then I'm like, God, I gotta stop that.
For sure.
Because she's so, and I mean, she might cuss me under her breath whenever I have to work late or have to go do something, but she's also very understanding and very patient with my profession and what I have to do to make the money to help support us.
Right. That's hard, man.
So I feel you 100%, Joel, when you say that you're good at some stuff and not good at some other stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think it comes down to we have to understand that change is inevitable within a relationship. I think for me, the struggle was, why did you change? What happened? What made you change?
Yeah.
I really didn't embrace change too well because I felt like I was consistent. Like, I haven't changed a whole lot, but the truth is I have, right? It may not be a big change, but there's some subtle changes that you have to make. But it's just different when you see your partner almost feels like take a 180 from the direction we're going in, because of life, right? So I think a lot of times, it's not even a lot of times, it's still my struggle sometimes, because sometimes I'm just kind of what happened to that lady, when
what happened to what we were used to.
She's growing, right? Because we're and we should be growing together. But sometimes you cause your own blockage because there's some things that happen that you
well said.
Right. Well, wish you could go back and do different, when the truth is, let's just embrace it, continue to serve each other and move forward. That's why
I agree.
We're humans.
Well, with the age gap too, I know this sounds stupid, but with an age gap too comes a maturity gap, right?
Oh, there's one.
30 and 25 are way different.
Yeah.
30 and 20 are way different. And then
way
35 and 35 and 32 are way different, because you're getting older and you get closer. Sure. So I think that's another thing where and it could be the opposite. Maybe I mature slower or something, and it's just being aware of those things too.
It's a generational gap, right? It's a generational gap.
The growth is different.
And the growth is different.
Like because I've gone through a lot of things through my 20s and 30s, right? And to get to where I'm at now, to understand certain things. And I've failed in a lot of those things still. But with my wife, she's still in her 20s. That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. Hey, that's right, yo. That's how you gotta do it, G. You gotta do it real.
Man, stop rocking that cradle, man. What's wrong with you, bro?
I ain't no cradle, Robert. I'm got her in a Bajoran over here. You feel me? I'm just wearing it on my chest.
Yeah, we go out on dates. I just put my lady in a Bajoran and we just go out.
Yeah, we just roll.
I don't be robbing no cradles. Feel me? But
falls asleep every once in a while.
And sometimes with the age gap, like there's not always issues at all. Like there's most of the time there's not issues, but there is sometimes an understanding issue because I'm older and she's not, and I feel like it's not fair for her, but at the same time I'm like, well, I deserve a little more. I deserve respect. Like if you talk back, like if someone says something just out of nowhere and you're like, whoa, like what did I do? Like why are we?
Yeah.
It catches me off guard sometimes, and I feel like. I don't know, like if I respect you, please respect me the same way always.
Yeah, that's another good point, because another thing that I have never taken, I have taken into consideration, we haven't talked about, is like when you start dating, like me and Joel have been in I don't want to say other relationships, but have been in serious like marriage relationships before. Nick leads us all because he's been with his beautiful wife, Germany, since.
True.
They've pulled it off. They've pulled it off.
Hard work.
You have to give a standing ovation for that. But when you, and Joel, tell me if you feel different. But when you start, like when you're older and you start dating someone new, then you almost have to explain your journey to them. Yeah, and if not, then they have no idea about your journey.
Right.
And
your journey is who you are.
Yeah. And that's what made you that's what made you who you are. And like, especially if you found somebody in your early 20s and got into a serious relationship, got married, or had just stayed with them for years and years. And you kind of grew up with that person. So they know 100%. You when you were in college, and they know you when you got out of college, and they know you when you were struggling, and then they know you when you kind of found a good deal or you had this opportunity, And then and I didn't really even think about that until I was talking to Cy, who's Katie's son that I inherited when me and her started dating. That when I was talking to him, and I'm like, you have no idea where what I've been through or how I got to here, Yeah. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, that's something weird to say to a 13-year-old, but also I've never given you that information. So let's just sit down and talk about my story,
Yeah, it is. It's a different.
It's a weird dynamic.
Yeah. Well, you're having to I feel you on that whole thing. Well, because with my previous relationship, we were young. We were in our 20s. We raised kids together. We grew up together.
Yeah.
We became parents together, so we kind of went through the mess ups, the F's ups, what's called. But in the process of growing up, sometimes, unfortunately, and I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, and everybody goes through their own thing, but sometimes as you grow up, you do grow in different directions because you work kids together. You're kids together.
100%.
Think about, how many friendships last eternity except for ours?
Yeah.
Really, everything forks because people change. Your best friends in elementary school, not in middle school, maybe again in high school, and then college is a whole different thing.
Even year by year as you get older. There are people I talked to 3 years ago that I hardly talk to ever now, and not because of disagreements or circumstances, just because of life and growing and doing different things.
There's times.
I agree.
There's times where we want to fix it and we can't fix it because just like you said, Joel, as you grow up, you're going to take life differently, right? It's going to affect you differently than it's going to affect your spouse or your relationship, even with friends, right? And sometimes things happen that we wish we could fix and we just can't. And
I agree.
That's tough because you want to fix it. You want to do everything you possibly can, but and sometimes in us trying to fix it, we make it worse.
Mm-hmm. I agree, and
you know what I mean.
To learn a lot,
and that has to be a life lesson. And sometimes I think that's where relationships really kind of also go to the left because you've got one person focused on trying to fix it, and the other person doesn't really want to fix it, but they just want you to leave them alone as they try to fix it. But
I agree.
Me, I'm the type of person where it's just like, I need to know what's going on with you. I need to know what's wrong because I love you, and that's my love language to want to fix it. And sometimes it's just not for people. Sometimes it's just not in the cards. And so
that's fine.
Hey, you ain't got to apologize. You want to roam me?
Well, there's a few things like speaking of my wife back there, there's a few things that I had to learn about, because I a lot of times don't take into consideration the facts of being a kid, like the childhood traumas that you develop or the things that you go through.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. And then so it's hard to take into account or be if you're not even aware of your own. Sometimes it sucks at the ability to not be aware of other people's.
Oh, sure.
Yes,
very
true.
Because upbringing and all that stuff is a huge part of who we are, and so I've had to try and not right now. Please, not right now.
Yeah.
Can you wait a second?
According to what Joel's saying, at the end of the day, there's an old saying: ignorance is bliss. And I got to tell you, I live in a constant state of bliss because you just don't know. And then when it's brought to you, it's like getting hit with a box of rocks. You're just like, whoa, I didn't know that. I had no clue I was doing that.
Yeah.
And
you're so caught up in it that you don't even realize.
Let's be honest. We get caught up on our own BS sometimes, and we love to live there
all
because
time.
It's comfortable, right? It's comfortable.
I
It's
agree.
easy to say I live here and I like where I live because this is my world, right?
Yeah.
But that's why I really say, you got to not speak your truth, speak the truth.
Well, maybe we come to a point now where maybe the mess ups and the earlier jack ups from the podcast were set up so that we would have a real conversation, not just fully bullies.
This is good.
I was just thinking that.
This is therapeutic.
I'm okay with that. Are you guys cool with ending early because it is Super Bowl
it's cool.
Sunday?
No, I do.
Yeah,
I think it's a really good note to end on. So, man,
definitely.
So if you're in tune to what we're talking about, share your experience with us down below. Let us know. Let us know your love language.
Yep.
Also, let us know how you've conquered some of your love language. What are some things you do to help you, see past yourself and really tap in and then get one-on-one with your partner.
Hey, thanks. Thank you guys for engaging with that. So I thought about it and I saw it and I thought, well, it's February.
Hey.
Let's have some Louvre language talk.
That's a good one, cuz.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
And
all right, man.
Appreciate you.
You have to buy.
Absolutely, yes. We can't go an episode without bringing our brother Copeland.
That's
His love language is definitely gift.
Buying, yes. For
You
himself.
have to buy.
For himself, yeah. You want to tell Brother Copeland you love him, buy him something. Let him know you love him.
All right,
who's
guys,
closing us out?
Yeah,
I think it's
out.
Is it yours or is it my turn?
I don't know. I was just going to throw it out there that we're about to go enjoy the Super Bowl. I hope everyone else does. And thank you for staying with us through our technical difficulties today. We'll get that handled for the next podcast. But as with everything, as the story of the Chinese farmer is it good or bad? I can't call it. And it turned out that all of that stuff should have happened so we could get to the awesome conversation that we had on this podcast. So that's my spiel. Nick, take it home for us.
Yeah,
Let me
sure.
hit with this real fast.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I plug my Yahtzee? Can I plug my TikTok? But you guys can find me on TikTok on at POUsual.
Yeah.
Check it out. Give it a go. Thanks for listening, and I hope this helps somebody.
Absolutely. So since we're throwing out shameless plugs, you can also catch us on the Tuesday channel on YouTube, Rick Dynasty 1 on Instagram. You can almost catch me at The Real Juan Hogan on Twitter. And then, of course, on we actually have now an official Tuesday TikTok page, so we'll be uploading stuff to there. So don't forget to join us there. And you can also catch me, Nick Limited Comedy, on TikTok. Want to thank everybody for joining in. Hopefully you guys really got something out of this. Some serious meat and potatoes went out there, so hopefully you guys digested in little bite-sized chunks. Continue to share. That's what we don't say. Share, guys. If you like it, share it with somebody else. It's the gift that keeps on giving, baby. So thank you guys so much. We love you. Have a great Super Bowl and have an awesome week. We'll catch you back next time right here on Tuesday.
Yahtzee.